without further ado, I would like to go to our special speaker, our special guest today, Michael Wager, running for Congress. Just before we turn it over to Mike, I want to remind you how important Ashtabula County is. Ohio is a battleground state. Northeast Ohio, 14th Congressional District is an important district, and Ashtabula County can play a key role in this historic election coming up. We can have an impact on who the next congressman from this district will be, just as this election is very important because we have an opportunity to elect 3 common pleas judges for the first time. They're running for open seats. So let's get out and urge our family and friends to vote. Let's hear it for Mike Wager, our candidate for the 14th District of Congress. Mike.
As Dwayne said, I'm Michael Wager. I'm running for United States Congress, and I'm delighted to be here, but for reasons that may not be immediately apparent. First of all, as you know, I'm running for U.S. Congress, and I'm running in a district of 7 counties. Ashtabula is far and away the place that a Democrat wants to come to feel loved and appreciated among all those 7. So thank you for having me here tonight. But this isn't just about me. But let me use my experience over the last 18 months as a reason to get you energized over the next 28 days. You know, there's some people out there that say 2014 is not going to be a good year for Democrats in Ohio. We've all heard the stories, and some of those things are things that perhaps we wish hadn't happened, but they have. That doesn't mean that other folks on this ticket, that all folks on this ticket can run strong races and that Democrats can win. How do I know that? There are folks in Washington, D.C. that decided, perhaps at some point in time, that the 14th district might not be a winnable race. But in recent days, you might have noticed, there's a lot of ads on television, and they're attacking me. Now, do you think they'd be spending hundreds of thousands, dare I say, millions of dollars attacking a race that isn't winnable? And if my race is winnable across these 7, then every one of the candidates on this sample ballot, the judicial candidates, the countywide candidates, the candidates like John Patterson and Michael O'Brien who have multi-county districts, every one of those races is winnable if we as Democrats do one thing. Turn out. We gotta turn out. So why do we do this? Why do I do this? I had a really pleasant life before I decided to run for office 18 months ago. And the reason I'm running, and the reason I'm running as a Democrat, goes back to the real fundamentals about why we're Democrats. It goes back to some of those things about history that Judge Lambros learned and was connected even more directly than the recitation I'm going to give you. It starts really with Franklin Roosevelt, who decided, notwithstanding the class that he came from, that government could be a solution. That government could do things for the people that were in need. Most of us on this ballot are running against people who believe government's the problem. Their party says government's the problem. I don't believe it. It's not just a talking point. I grew up with it. I actually believe that the challenges that we have, that every one of these candidates, whether they're running for re-election or election, whether it's for judicial seats that they already have, or county government or state government, or in my case federal government, it's the notion that you can do something for the people you serve, whether it's decision making from the bench, whether it's managing the finances of a county, whether it's legislating in Columbus, which is only slightly less crazy than Washington. We can do things as Democrats which benefit most Americans. The other side believes in this notion of you benefit the people at the top and there'll be enough for everyone else. I fundamentally disagree, and most Democrats do. We're Democrats. It comes down to turnout. With your help, every one of these people on this ballot can run a race that we'd be proud of and win. Let's stand here on November 4th and applaud ourselves because we got out and voted and we won these races. Thank you.
Good job, Mike. That's why he's our candidate. Let's give him a big round of applause.
I want to thank you all for being here. We have some good candidates. Obviously, judges are not allowed to endorse other people. But if you look at some of the mailers and some of the things we're doing, the judicial candidates are working together. When we get elected, we will continue to work together to do good things for the people in our community. So thank you very much for being here, and I'm going to pass it to the next speaker.
I am attempting to do something that in most of our lifetimes has never been done, and that is to succeed a judge to the position of juvenile probate court that hasn't been drawn from the probate field. I would be the first judge elected to that position that has 30 years, nearly 30 years experience in behavior correction. And in this era of heroin addiction, meth addiction, and other substance addiction, I believe it's vitally important that we attack this problem within the juvenile system, and I'm the only candidate that has the qualifications to do so. So I would appreciate your support.
Marianne, Sezon.
Hello, thank you so much for being here tonight. Sorry for my late entrance, but I want to say that I've worked at the Camplese court now for 16 years, and I think that my experience in both the legal and administrative realm will serve you well. So I look forward to that and serving you as the next Camplese General Division Judge and hopefully the first female. Thank you. I got my work ethic down at Eddie's Grill, as you well know, so I probably have waited on all of you over the years, and I'm proud of that work ethic, and so I will carry that through my job as judge. So thank you very much, thank you for being here, and I'll talk to more of you soon. Thanks.
Tom Letson, running for the Supreme Court. What I want to tell you real quick is you all have an understanding of the top to the bottom of the ballot and the fall off that happens in that distance from that lofty top of the ballot to that lowly bottom of the ballot. And at the bottom of the ballot, you're going to find those levy issues, agency on aging issues, school levies, safety forces. Okay, the things that mean the most to us tend to be at the bottom of that. And lumped down there at the bottom of that are the judicial races, including Court of Appeals, Common Pleas, Juvenile, Probate, Supreme Court. They're all down there at the bottom. So this year, when does tomorrow start early voting?
Yes.
Tomorrow starts early voting. So starting tomorrow, when you go to the Board of Elections to do your in-person early voting, flip that over. Start from the bottom of the ballot. Work your way back towards the top of the ballot. Get those levies in there. Get those judicial candidates in there. And let's diminish that fall off, that undervote, and take a look at all the good people you have up here, and let's do away with the undervote this time. Tom Letson for the Supreme Court.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for coming out tonight. I'm Judge Cynthia Rice. I've been your judge on the Court of Appeals for the past 12 years. The Court of Appeals is a little different than the other judges you've heard from tonight. Your local judges sit here locally, and we review what they do. And we've been really lucky for the past 12 years. You have excellent judges here in Ashtabula, which makes our job very easy. And as we look at the ballot, it looks like we're going to have another crop of really good judges coming up. But what's important here is that our race is a 5-county race. So I'm from Trumbull County, and the problem with that is when I run in Ashtabula, a lot of people don't know me and they don't know my name. So I'm going to ask you for your help. We have signs, we have some magnetic bumper stickers out front, if you would take one and put it on your car, so that people in Ashtabula become familiar with our name. I'm running for my seat, and Judge Cannon is running also, so you'll see our signs have both of our names on them. And what we wanted to make sure is that everyone knew that we're not running against each other, that we have opponents, but we aren't each other's opponent. So if you could help out by getting our name out there, telling your friends you've met us.